right, Metal Mike coming at you, and I thought today what we would do is we'd start focusing these videos on how to help you, maybe as a beginner picker, or anyone out there that just gets an interest in the field, and maybe you can pick a tip up or two. And here is about inventory. What do we do if we don't have any inventory? We look around, we say, well, I have nothing, which is very easy to do. But what you can do is you can go into you'd be surprised what you might have in a dresser drawer, something you've dragged around in a box over the years that's been put back in the closet.
You'd be very surprised at what you can find. You just forget all about it.
You do. You want to go through each and every area in your house. If you do have a closet, go in it and dig around. Pull out a button from 20 years goes by like that. Todd, why don't you tell us about some of the things we got here today?
Anyway, digging in boxes, I've got so much stuff. Trinkets, a lot of it's trash. I mean, you just got to go through it. You'd be surprised at the value.
You throw the trash out. You really start fine-tuning it.
Or you just, one lot of, just take a picture of just a bunch of stuff on the floor and you get $10 for it. Whatever. Anyway, I'm going through my closet, basically. I've got this closet that I just don't go in too much, and it's just stuff full in the back. And I'm going through, and we'll show you here in a minute, got a bunch of old movie posters. Mike and I used to work at a theater together. It was like 20 years ago. And it's like in the tubes from the theater 20 years ago, and it's just a bunch of posters. Got a bunch of sports stuff. There used to be Shinders.
Johnny Unitas.
Yep, used to be.
Gale Sayers autograph, both of them. Brutal.
Yeah, Shinders isn't even there anymore. But there was a Shinders about 2 doors down, and some of this stuff is from the Shinders store.
Downtown on Hennepin, downtown Minneapolis.
Already old. What, 22 years ago? Now it's just ancient stuff. Just
these are guys,
all about it. Just
obviously, Johnny was playing in the 1950s, 60s, maybe early 70s. Gail Sayers, I believe, late 60s, mid 60s, maybe into the 70s, short career. But so these were autographed, you could say at any time. But from looking at them, this is an old Hall of Fame one. So this is a very early picture and not your common thing you're going to see at a sports store. So this is an older piece. This is an older autograph, which makes it a bonus. Same with this. This is not a new thing that was done at a signing where he sat down and was paid to sign 1,000 of them. This was probably done and gotten by a fan years ago.
And we know it's at least 23 years old.
You can see on the back, the little boy has written, well, you can't see, maybe you can't pull it in right there, but in pencil it just says Sayer, and it's written just as a small child would write it, sloppy. So I guarantee you brought it along to the autograph section, got it autographed. But Todd, tell them how you got this stuff years ago. And these are the little things that you might have picked up along the way.
It was in a Schindler's bag. It was in the Lost and Found at the theaters a long time ago. And then what would happen when stuff was in the Lost and Found, we would put it like back in the hallway. After a while, we'd keep it for like a month.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we put it back in the hallway, and the employees go through it, and this was the hallway.
Glom box, basically, at that point, after a certain clearance day, that you could get a pair of mittens out of there, whatever the hell.
Hallway leading to the trash, and I was just picking through there, and I'm like, what is this stuff in the envelope? It's like brutal. I was really into football at that time, and it's like, I just picked it up, took it home, threw it in a box, and it's been forgotten until
And here's the kicker, too. I've known Todd since that period, so that was probably about 1989.
Yeah.
And I've never seen this stuff before. So that tells you, he had it stashed. Now, we lived together. We, not in just one place, we got up, we moved. Never once did this stuff ever come out. So, and that's what I mean. You have to really, you'd be surprised, maybe at your mom's house, grandparents' house. You used to maybe, how, I don't know, when I was young, I always had stuff I kept at my grandparents' house. Kind of want to start networking within your own family and just your history and thinking, and you might be surprised. You can just pick yourself. Now, how many movie posters do you think that you have there?
There was roughly about 15 or so. Let's get up and look at them.
Yep.
Okay. Just bust them open.
All right, here we go. So I got these things, these items, these football pieces from Todd in a deal. So I'm stashing them away. I'm a huge football fan, so the Johnny Unitas and the Gale Sayers, lockdown. But the posters, these are interesting. Todd, how long have you had these stashed?
I was looking, like I said, it's really brutal because I really like just the labels on those because it brings back so many memories because they're all from the theater back in '93 and that. But those got mixed around so much.
Theater.
I've had these at least 20 years just sitting there. They're all varied. Some are fair, some are mint.
I can't lie. I'm already kind of unrolled this one, but I'm
a big horror fan, so you're going to see a lot of that in there. Anything brutal.
Here's a cult classic. Tales from the Hood.
That's really dark on here. You might have to.
But it's of a skull and almost has like a foil silver.
Yep, it's brutal.
To it. The tooth has 666 on it, gold tooth, of course. What is this? This is a homeboy hip-hop, NWA meets, I don't know, gangster rap.
Brutal as hell, man.
Horror
It's
stories,
Spike Lee.
tales.
Yep.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
No, like I said, everything in those tubes brutal.
Something I didn't know. I never knew Spike Lee did a horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. So that's in there, and this is the thing. These are my posters now, and I don't even know what's in here. That was the first one I unrolled, and what a score. Let's just go for it cold and see what the next one is. See if we get anything. Oh, yeah. Look at this, kids. If you're a horror fan. Now, look. These aren't in the best of condition, and these are hard to manage because, number one, you have to have a place for them. They can't get wet. Bordello of Blood, Tales from the Crypt, classic with the Crypt Keeper right there. Remember, sex sells, so with the garter and the leg on it. Oh, Angie Everhart. I'm sure there's fans of
Dennis
her.
Miller.
Dennis Miller.
Oh, Jesus.
What the hell?
Okay.
What a hack.
Is he still around? I haven't heard of him for 20 years either.
He goes on Fox News now. He's a big political dude. I guess he's.
You got another stack there, but I'm gonna make.
I can't shred the dude. He makes more money than me. Okay, this one's hamburgered, but this is a classic. Look at the
Return of the Living
dog-tailed.
Dead. Yep.
Got dog-tailed edges on it, but Return of the classic.
Told you there's some good stuff in those tubes.
I actually
Trust
remember
me.
this one.
That was probably hanging up at our apartment in 91, 92.
I'm digging in now. The heart is kind of pumping right now because we really don't know what Todd could have in here. He would only keep the horror ones, so.
And obviously stuff I liked.
All right, Species. We know that one. That one is brutal. What's this one under there? The Crow.
The Crow. Yep, that was one of the teaser trailers. I can tell already.
See, and I'm not a huge
posters.
fan of that, but let's face it, that Brandon Lee.
And one thing that you'll know about
it's a cult classic.
Working at theaters is those teaser posters are ones they didn't make many of, and it didn't really have the title on it. It was just it's like to get people talking. What's that? What's that logo?
3-4 months before the movie, it would come out, and I worked there too, and I did stash them away. I have none. Remember, I did buy a huge lot of them from you a few years ago, didn't I? I ended up selling them to a buddy who still has them, and he regrets buying them. But I always tell him.
Because he doesn't know.
Yeah, I told him, though. I was like, just sit on them. I guarantee.
And I think even, coming from me to you, you work there. You know that this probably means something to you, too, because you were actually in the building when all this stuff was acquired. So.
It's hard because you look at the
Hellraiser, oh, yeah, that's brutal.
Your instinct is to say, I got to keep that. But realistically, if you have things like this, these are
been sitting in my closet for 20 years. So that's the way I look at it.
They're paper. Very hard to take. I mean, it takes a minute. Look, this one had a rip at one time. It's been repaired. But that's how easy it is. You've got to be able to take care for it. And the number one thing that'll kill this stuff is water. So.
Well, I can already see a Laura Croft coming up. I see the eyes.
See, I'm not into her, but who is that? Is that popular actress? What's her name? What is her name? Everyone loves her.
To Brad Pitt. Yep. It's not him, obviously, if it was.
I just seen on TV last night, and he looks like an old Robert
Jolie.
Redford. What a trip. All right, so there we go. Posters. Anything can have value. Rock and roll posters, Kiss posters, of course, if you don't know that. Any posters from the 70s, even the 80s and early 90s when they would kind of just reprint stuff in the magazines. Kiss did a lot of that, but still those posters, if they're big, like you see these crappy posters here, you say? I'm actually going to sell these at some point in life. And you look at it and you go, well, what the hell good is that? It's going to bring a buck or two. No, they're actually bringing between sometimes $10 to $20 and $30. It just depends on who you get, who wants them. Kids want this stuff. They want to decorate. You can't go to the mall like when we were young and go to Musicland. That is gone. Musicland is now eBay. So get on there, start going through your own closet. Remember Grandma's house, Mom's house, your own closet, dresser drawers. You'd be surprised what you might have. Good luck. Get out there, get hunting, get selling. Metal Mike, Gags. Hey now.